What's up? Welcome back to another video. I'm Nick Flint, aka Nick Flintness, and today we're showing you some more band exercises. So before this video, I actually filmed 60 different exercises to do with your resistance bands. We have the resistance band 30 exercises and the booty band 30 exercises. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, check them out and then come back to this one for the more advanced workout. So you've started to use the resistance bands at home. You're getting the swing of things, you know, you're getting your reps in, your curls, your presses, your side raises, your lunges. But now you're like, all right, these are almost getting too easy for me. I can hit like 40 of these. So I was like, how can I make these exercises harder? I racked my brain, I ran around the gym, I found different things that you can do with your resistance band. So, without further ado, 11 exercises, advanced exercises with resistance bands. And if you still don't have bands yet, I do have some still on my website, purecutsupps.com. So for $24.99, you get this whole set here. Inside the set, you have 6 different bands. It comes with 2 handles. There's a door anchor, there's 3 extra booty bands, and the handles are pretty cool because there's 3 slots in there. So if one band is too easy, you add a second, and then you can add a third even. So purecutsupps.com if you need a set still. And there are a few different ways to make your other exercises harder with your resistance band. So first one could be just how wide your stance is when you're holding it. So right here, it's a little bit easier because there's not as much tension in the band to start with. So all you would have to do is give it a little slack, put your feet a little bit wider apart, and now it's that much harder to hit your reps. Another way to make it harder is switching to one arm. So instead of having 2 arms like this, double the tension up in just one of your arms. And normally we don't like half repping, but for bands, I'll make an exception. So there's not that much tension at the bottom of the bands. You're feeling it all up top when you get to the top of the rep. So instead of going all the way down and letting them just get like loose and slack, you go up to the top and just come about 3/4 down so you keep tension on your muscles the whole time. This will make it a lot harder. Let's say you have the band wrapped around something sturdy. Instead of sitting here and hitting your rows, what you're gonna wanna do is just take a few steps backwards, whatever you're comfortable with. And look at all that tension we already have in the bands. It made it 3 times harder getting these rows. If you want, scoot it back a little bit more, add more tension, make it even harder. So the last thing here is going to be the time that you take between sets, your rest time. Instead of taking a long time sitting on the couch watching TV, actually break out some kind of interval timer and time your sets and time the rest between them. Slowly start to cut down on that rest time to make it harder. For this exercise, it's going to be a press and crunch. For a lot of these, to make it harder, I'm kind of combining 2 or 3 things together. So this is what it'll look like. You go forward a little bit, have your band secured to something nice and stable. Get a friend to hold them for you if you want, just don't make sure they don't let go. So you're coming forward, adding some tension. You're gonna press the bands, followed by a slight crunch forward, engage the core. Again, you're pressing these bands, your arms are locked out nice and tight, you're crunching forward. And what you're gonna wanna do is switch feet, just so you kind of balance these out. Same thing, I switch my stance, left in the front now, press, and that crunch. Bonus points if you can do this one-handed, so both handles in one hand. You're gonna be pressing it. This is hard. I got a lot of tension. Crunching forward. Coming back, press, and crunch. Next one, they're jumping jacks without the jump. I'm pretty sure the official term for them is overhand jackhammers, so we'll go with that. So feet are together, wider if you want it to be harder. You're starting from the bottom, almost like you're about to snatch it, and you're coming up, going overhead. Slowly bring it back down. So you get a little bit of legs, a little bit of lower back, a little bit of upper back, a little bit of shoulders here. So coming up, starting that tension, full extension, and then back down. Woo-wee! These are burned, I've only done 2. Overhand jackhammers. Next up, overhead squat press. So we're starting with the bands under our feet, we're curling them up to about shoulder height. You're squatting down. When you come up in one smooth motion, go to your overhead press. So going like this, coming down, one smooth motion, going overhead. And to make this harder, if this is too easy because you're a freaking pro, switch it to one hand. One hand, one foot. So we're squatting down, going overhead. Squatting down, overhead, squat press. Next up, a shoulder exercise. We're calling it over and back. So you're getting the band in front of you. I put 2 bands on for this one. You're bringing it out like this. And you're going over your head and back. It's a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of constant tension on your muscles. And my shoulders, they're engaged this whole time. Going over and back. And you're stretching out at the same time. Next up, we have squat face pulls. So we're stepping back a few times. Get your bands around something nice and sturdy. You can be coming a few steps back. You're squatting down. And then you're gonna hold this position as you do face pulls. You're pulling the bands directly to your face, going on the outside of about your eyes. This will be your upper back, this will be your legs, and this will be your core. Make sure you're sitting nice and upright as you do these. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, make sure you just hit that subscribe button. It takes you 2 seconds. Hit subscribe real quick, and I'll make a ton more videos for you with even harder exercises. Next up, we're doing some curl front squats. We're getting the bands under the feet. We're combining a bro movement and a nice functional movement. So we're getting that bro movement in, the curls, right into your front squat. Keep your back nice and upright on this one. Curl down, curl back up. Your core is gonna be engaged, so you don't lean forward too much. That's why it's important to stay upright. Curling, and you're holding that curl as you hit your front squat. Super advanced move would be a curl press front squat, but that's super advanced. Next up, we're wrapping the band around something sturdy again. We're gonna be hitting some abs. 2 different movements for you here. Scoot back, you're holding on nice and tight. Don't let go and hit your friend. Wrap around your feet. Keep your toes flexed towards you to make sure the handles don't fly away. And as you're coming down, there's 3 options we'll go with. Number 1, just straight leg lifts, like this. Number 2 can be tucking your knees towards you, like this. And number 3 would be alternating. So hovering your feet about 3 to 4 inches off the ground, alternating which knee's coming up to. Whoo, I feel the burn already. Next up, we're getting the same position as our squat face pulls, but now we're doing squat rows and squat curls. So coming down to this position, where your back's nice and tight and upright, you're rowing. You can either hit a few rows and then hit a few curls like this, going directly to your face, or alternate, 1 row, 1 curl, 1 row, 1 curl. Start with 1 band for these because these are way harder than they look, but you're doing sit-ups with a band. So I'd recommend starting upright too, so you can get a little bit of leverage here. So you're coming down. Make sure you don't hit your head on the pole like I almost just did. And you're sitting up. Well, I'm telling you, these are hard. Harder than they look. Coming down, sitting up. Because right as you hit like that hard point in the sit-up is when all the tension kicks in. So sit-ups with your bands. One-legged lunges. So for this one, we'll be wrapping the band around our foot an extra time to make it harder. So you're stepping on it, wrapping it around like this. So now the band's shorter, which will make it harder. To make it even harder, bring it up a little bit. So you're putting your foot back on your coffee table or couch or dog or friend or whatever you have available. Just make sure it's sturdy. Bring the band up a little bit to about chest height. And now we're gonna be doing our one-legged lunges. Don't underestimate these. They get hard around 4 or 5 reps. Next up, we're doing planks, and if you want something nice and soft underneath you, get like a yoga mat or a towel because you're gonna be on your hands for this. So we're coming up into a plank position on our fists, and we're alternating which arm touches which hip. So left arm going to right hip, coming back down. Right arm, left hip, coming back down. You can also do just to your side, so left arm out to the side, right arm out to the side. Whew. It's a nice way to switch up planks, make it less boring. So these were 11 advanced resistance band exercises. You can implement these into your own workouts What you could do is like a minute of each with 30 seconds rest in between. You could do a few sets of each one, pick your favorites, whatever you want to do, just make it happen at home. If you still needed a set of bands, remember, purecutsupps.com, we got your back. Fast shipping, free shipping, all that fun stuff. And like, comment, and subscribe for some more exercises. I'm sure I can think of at least 11 more, maybe even 22 more. Comment below what you want to see and subscribe so you can be the first to know when that video comes out.